All the boats. I want to be up.
Oh my gosh. Welcome back to the Duckfellas podcast, episode 22. And Zachary wanted to kick it off with a bang right there.
Yeah.
You know,
Bad timing.
I got to give Cade props.
For once. Holy shit.
Yeah. We were having technical difficulties within 19 seconds of going live, and we figured it out.
Yep. What a stud.
Hats off.
Hats on, actually.
Yeah. It's hot in here now from what it was earlier.
Because we were stressing out about
I'm interested.
Everybody's sweating.
You got me and Bradley in your mouth breathing. Doesn't help you.
I want to turn the mic down. Let's go.
Oh, man. Well, this week we got, as everybody can see, Mr. Colton Bradley with us. We're all kind of excited to have him on. But yeah, Cade's over here doing minor adjustments to the camera. I got fucked up.
I don't know how I got so fucked up.
You did it.
No, I didn't.
I believe you.
100% just throwing bows.
I think actually what happened was I was fucking with it and I had it like leaned over like this. When I let go of it, it was like, nope.
Dang. I don't know. Anybody doing anything exciting between now and last Monday?
That's nothing whatsoever.
I wish you'd do something for once.
They keep paying me to show up.
I fired a race car.
Oh, did you?
Yep. One of the fucking 3 that we'll have this year.
Heck yeah.
Not on his own, though.
No, that one was not mine.
No, not as nice.
Mm-hmm.
You got that?
It's pretty nice shit. I was surprised.
Well, I bet it is. You got me excited for you just to let you down.
That's what I'm here for.
He'll fire his practice night.
You shut your
That'll not be good.
No. I've done it before. Not good.
Well, I guess we might as well bring up the giveaway we still have going. So those posts are still out there on Facebook and Instagram, pinned to the top of the pages. We're giving away 2 Alps blinds, one to anybody that enters, and then the other one's going to someone that is 18 or younger. And all you got to do to enter is comment what your dream bird is to kill, and then just follow both our Facebook and Instagram. Pretty easy. You know, there's not a lot of entries right now, so you have a pretty fat chance of winning them if you get in.
Did we discover last week it was legal or illegal birds? I feel like we did.
It's a dream bird. It's either it's legal or illegal. So
Touche.
if you want to say your dream bird's a bald eagle, that's fine. Just don't go kill one.
Yeah, please, for the love of God.
Not giving hunting advice or legal advice.
No.
Just-
Yeah. If you guys don't know, Zach is definitely not a lawyer, so do not listen to him.
I will give the legal advice. Don't fucking shoot a bald eagle.
It's pretty good advice, really.
I know.
Pretty sound.
I know. Be a lawyer.
Mm.
I did want to touch on, like we talked about last week, that rule change in Saskatchewan. So I don't think we talked about it. One good point that I heard over the past week is it is a good thing that they're limiting the days you can hunt there. Like, I wasn't saying that it's a bad thing, because I think it's going to take pressure off the birds.
Yeah.
Like, you're not also going to have as many people hunting up there, right? So I think just the pressure change that will put on the birds is going to help. But what I was saying last week was I don't think it's going to help with the illegal guide services.
You did say that too. But it doesn't matter what you say. People are still going to take it their own way.
I know.
But yeah,
That's fair enough. Especially Pookie.
I've,
That guy just, he just takes everything the wrong way.
in my past 12 months of podcasting, I've figured out real quick, people are going to take it how they want.
Yeah. Oh, that's fair. I like that.
Yeah.
I mean, I'll take everything my own way too. As a
Balls,
Zach's gay.
balls deep.
Doesn't mean it's right. I don't point that out. You can take it as you want.
I don't know. You're sitting pretty close to Jade over there.
Well, snuggle.
You want to sit closer.
She did.
I mean, I tried.
Bro, there's
No
a
way.
lot more room in there.
Yeah.
I did recall him actually sit on Katie's lap at first.
Yeah.
Well, you
I got
you would know because my pants are all dirty and his ass is still clean. Lie detector determined that was a lie.
Okay. And you're looking at his ass right now because he's sitting down.
Bold of you to
Stand.
stand. Please.
to say that's outside the pants is clean. We can apply it.
Jesus.
What?
I did put on my waders today to do some beaver nuisance work. Golly, I forgot 85 degrees. It's like a sauna. My jeans were wet, and I guarantee there's no holes in my waders.
You wore jeans underneath your waders?
I went straight from work
You're a fucking psychopath.
You had to pass by your house. Why didn't you just grab shorts?
because I was in a hurry.
Oh my gosh. Because the beavers were leaving?
No, I was meeting somebody there.
The beaver?
No, I wish
Just tell him, like, dude, I'm going to be 2 minutes late.
I could have, but
Yeah, it's like a 5-minute
Yeah.
drive from where your traps are to from where you were.
I know. But I also, just didn't click my mind that it was 85 degrees and I was weaving waders.
That's a very fair point. You are pretty slow, so I get that.
Paper pushing job.
It was. Dude, it's a
Hey.
scorcher out there today, though.
I know.
That was
fucking brutal.
I'm pretty sure I'm sunburnt as shit from this.
Oh, yeah.
Like that, my arms and my forehead hurt.
Dog, I got the fucking Neapolitan going on already.
No,
I almost got chilly. The AC was blasting pretty hard today.
You sound like a fucking operator.
Well,
I hope the next day that it's like 95 degrees out, your AC goes out in that building.
Oh, damn.
I can work from home.
Well, you won't be allowed to. You're going to be needed in the office that day.
I'm up with all sort of fictitious scenarios.
Yeah, well, it's going to be a good one.
Tyler's just going to shit on your desk before you get to work.
I don't have time for that. I thought about it, but I don't have time for that.
Don't have time for that, Mike.
I know somebody who has plenty of time now.
Ellie?
Cookie. He doesn't do a fucking thing
Yeah.
other than skip podcast.
He can't even defend himself, and you're sitting here shit
He
talking.
could comment on it. He could defend himself.
He could.
He could be here.
He could. I don't know where the fuck we'd fit him, but he'd be here.
Yeah, he's sitting right here.
Well, apparently you were sitting on my lap, so I'd have 2 guys on my lap. That's kind of fucked up. I might be broken.
That chair might need help.
Dude. I think when I bought it, it was like a 300-pound limit.
That's
So we're good for me.
not good.
Yeah, but you and Pookie on top of me? No good.
Well, Colton, why don't you tell us a little bit about yourself and kind of let's just start with how you got into waterfowl hunting and what made you want to get to where you're at.
Yeah, so gosh, it's been 18, 19 years ago since I've gotten into waterfowl hunting. I was going through some of my dad's old stuff, and we had a lab at the time, and his name was CJ, and was flipping through some of the pictures, and I just told him, hey, I want to get into this waterfowl hunting.
Uh-oh.
Don't steal on your computer there.
Got a supporter?
Yeah.
But I told him, hey, I want to get into this waterfowl hunting stuff. And he goes, no, you don't. And I was like, I definitely do. And so he went out that next fall and bought a little Carson's canvasback, I guess, what's the canvasback boats, the little fiberglass ones.
Oh, yeah. I know what you're talking about, but I can't think of the name of it.
And just a 5 horsepower Johnson motor. And we went out that first morning for youth season, and I remember exactly where I was at, looking at a radio tower. I obviously wasn't shooting directly at it, but shot my shot my first duck. It was a blue-winged teal hen, and from there I was hooked. I mean, gotten into a lot of cool opportunities because of waterfowl hunting. Obviously, meeting you guys being some of that.
Sorry.
We've had a lot of fun together throughout the last few years, but it's something that's cool about waterfowl hunting is being able to meet new folks and go new places that you wouldn't otherwise, and when you look at the further side of stuff, like I know we were going to talk about Delta Waterfowl today, there's tons of opportunities because of that as well. And so, yeah, it's been a really fun 18, 19 years that I've been doing it, and going to be many, many more.
So did your dad used to waterfowl hunt?
Yeah, my dad used to. Like growing up, he used to trap and hunt, and they relied on that.
Yep.
And so that's why when he started having kids, he got out of it. And I was the one that made him get back into it. And he's not crazy after him. I mean, like my dad's one that just likes to go out and see a sunrise, and he just appreciates being out there. Versus me, it's like, and you guys, you want to go out there and you want to kill something, right?
Yeah, but whenever you go with him, you're just chasing sunrise. That's it.
Well, no. Because normally what happens when I take dad out anymore is that I go out at, the early times like you guys are out there, and then I'll go back to the boat ramp and pick him up right before shooting time. He's like, I'm not going to be out there at, 2:00 in the morning. That's going to be all you.
Neither are we.
Yeah, we're usually rolling at 4:30.
We have a solid plan to be there somewhere between 2 and 4, but
So you just need to buy a faster boat so you can show up at 4:30 or 5:00 in the morning and just beat everybody.
That's very true.
Then people get mad when you
I was saying, I heard that taking the sport that time, so I don't know if we should do that.
Yep.
Too late. We already do.
Yeah.
Suck it, nerds.
Do you said your first duck you ever killed was a blue wing hen?
Yep.
Have you killed a band yet? A banded duck? Geezer.
I've killed one banded drake mallard that was from, I think it's from Saskatchewan is where they banded that one.
Yeah, dude.
But that was probably 6 years ago that we were out and it was all flooded and we were literally hunting in 20 foot of water tied up to willow trees and just smashing them that morning.
You killed him here?
Yep.
Nice.
Yep, right here.
That'd be sick. The only banded mallard I've killed was banded like 300 miles away from where I was hunting at the time.
Fair enough.
And actually, Corey Crothers just called me today. He's starting on that bird.
Heck yeah.
It's been 2.5 years since I dropped it off.
Yeah.
And I was just talking about it the other day. I said, man, I hope Corey don't do my bird before I move into my house. And I'm like, shit, he started. Now I gotta pay for that right after I buy my house.
Yeah. Bills are add up quickly.
I feel your pain.
And then we're gonna have Brett. He'll have our birds on, what do you say, June-ish, July, or something like that.
We just bought our house. Brett texted me last week or 2 weeks ago. He's like, I've got your 3 birds slotted for May. Is that good? I'm like, Christ. Oh, man.
Well, I know who has the money at this point.
No shit.
Whoa. It's got taxes back.
Whose dick are you sucking?
Uncle Sam's.
He's not filing taxes, obviously.
No. Tax fraud? Never heard of it.
Yeah. Oh, shoot. That's wild. Do you have any mounts?
I just got my first one back this fall. It was a drake mallard. That was actually a pretty cool hunt. So a couple of years ago, my grandpa had passed away right around Thanksgiving time, and we always do a Thanksgiving morning hunt. And it was the year after that he had passed away. We all went out, and right at the time that I shot that bird is the exact time that my grandpa had passed away. And so we call those grandpa's birds, and every year it was like 10:30. We have this flight of mallards that comes in, and we shot 2 out of that. My cousin's very first drake mallard, and then that one that I shot that was a really nice drake, and thought I'd get that one mounted. So,
Heck yeah. I've seen your, you mounted your girlfriend's. Was it the first duck? Or?
yeah, first drake mallard for her. Yep.
Oh,
Hell yeah.
and that was
That's a
2 years
good looking
ago?
bird, too.
What was that?
Was that 2 years ago?
Yeah. Yep. That one was down in Missouri. So,
That's awesome.
went from no taxidermy to that, and I've got a shoulder mount coming back from the taxidermist hopefully in a couple of weeks. And so, yeah, I started racking stuff up pretty quick.
You'll do that.
It
I
gets
got
bad.
stuff in my freezer. So I'm going to go to taxidermy.
Yep.
Well, you're getting ready. You're trying to buy a house too, aren't you?
Yeah.
So once you get that done, you'll probably start
Oh,
doing
yeah.
a bunch of them.
I mean, yeah. I had one more that was supposed to be done. It was a drake wood duck from Ace's very first hunt. And I wanted to get it to where there was a wood duck box and that drake on top of it, but it was early in the year, and so it was a bird that he called me and he goes, hey, there's too many pin feathers. Like it's going to look okay, but it's not going to be what you want. He goes, I'd rather you just not mount it. I said, I'm all for your input on that. So
That's awesome. Oh, I see she's in here actually. She just commented.
She did.
boy. Yeah, and I paid for it too, just so
You kind of touched on it. You've slowly transitioned to the wrong side of the world, shooting deer.
Oh, tired.
What got you into that?
What's up, brother?
Yeah, Zach and I talk a lot about deer hunting.
Oh, so that's who snipped your son.
And then, no,
Isn't it? That's not like that.
It's not the only one doing it.
no, I've been deer hunting since my senior year of high school. I went on my first deer hunt. My uncle's got a property in southwest Iowa, a family farm of theirs, and took me out. I got hooked. It was a late muzzleloader. I shot a doe the first day and then a small 10-point the next. And then we've got a century-old farm in southwest Iowa as well. That's my family's property. And so it's just kind of cool being able to go down and experience that and look back at all the history down in that area. The buck that I'm getting my shoulder mount done on is my first bow buck. And that I shot that deer the same year that my grandpa passed away. So that was pretty unique. That was one that, I'm pretty excited to get back.
Yeah, for sure.
That'll be sweet.
I knew Zach would have something stupid to say, so I had to throw the acorn cow guys under the bus for
100%.
I mean, I get it, but
my primary is 100% waterfowl. But, like this past year, I know there were some days that were good, but there's some days it's like, shit, there's not even a bird in the county. And so it was just, go duck hunt in the morning and then go deer hunt in the afternoon was kind of my game plan. It's more of an afternoon farm anyway, so it kind of works out. It's just a 2-hour drive.
well, it's nice, dude, because when I started waterfowl hunting, it was like, well, I really bow hunt mornings in October.
Yes.
If I do, it's maybe the first 2 weeks in November.
Yeah.
So it's like, well, you mean I can kill more stuff in the day?
Allegedly.
Well, try.
Don't ever get anything. He goes.
You know what? It's the effort that counts.
It's weird. Every time Zach goes, we're always 6 shy of a 4-man or 5-man limit.
Yeah, doesn't matter how many guys go.
Yeah, it's crazy.
We're always 6 short.
Either that or he gets like a teal or something, Like an accidental beamy hits it and it dies.
I'm like a little kid in the boat because Tyler's like, oh, I was waiting mallards. And I'm like, can I kill that bird? And he's like, no, not a mallard. We wouldn't have our.
He's always trying to shoot goose.
Or fucking bird.
I could see that with this.
In Tyler's defense, it is either a coot or a murd every time.
You don't ever try to shoot something like somewhat neat.
No, like at least shoot a teal for fuck's sake.
We had to start this year because it was like that teal buzzed us. We wouldn't shoot shit if we didn't shoot one.
Hey, there was a lot of teal we passed up on this year, and there's always to be that one group where Kate went. So fuck, what was it, a shit ton?
Fucking shit pile.
And we're working like a group of like 20 mallards, and all of a sudden you just hear teal land all over the decoys, and he's like, a fucking shit pile of the decoys. And the mallards didn't even come in, and teal left, so we didn't shoot shit.
Yeah, it was fucking funny though. That was probably the funniest moment out of the entire year.
Yeah, because he stopped calling mid call and just like a shit pile on the decoys.
Went right back to calling.
Oh,
That was wild.
it was a slow year this year though. Like it was.
Yeah. Out of all my years of hunting around here, it was definitely my worst in this area.
Mm-hmm.
And, you can look at a lot of factors that you guys have talked about. Obviously, water levels that you're ended down late in August, and so nothing got to grow. So those birds would be here for a couple of days. And if you weren't shooting them then, you guys obviously did better than most, which you always do. But, there's definitely something to be said about that.
Lucky.
You
try stupid shit that just works out.
If you wanted to break it down by percentages of how many hunts we went on versus how many birds we killed, and then compare that to other percentages, you could.
Yeah.
I know, so this year we've talked about it. I did a terrible job of tracking my birds we killed this year. It was non-existent. I tracked the birds I killed in Michigan, and that's it. But like the year before, we averaged 3 birds per hunter per hunt.
Yeah, it's true.
And that's insane for hunting all public ground.
Yeah, absolutely.
Like it was fantastic. I mean, it was crazy that we had.
You just unplugged your computer.
Who?
You did.
My computer's unplugged. That just fell out.
I did.
Yeah, it's just out here driving. But anyway, so I guess now, tell us a little bit of how and what made you want to get involved with Delta.
So I started with Delta Waterfowl 5 years ago, and I got into it honestly because of dog training. With Ace, my black lab, he's 5 now, was at a training group, and a guy named Jesse Furman was like, hey, we're involved in Delta Waterfowl. You should come up and help out at our chapter. So started doing the youth hunts, the veterans hunts. That's definitely something that's very near and dear to my heart with the Buffalo Basin chapter out of Clear Lake. And for the first 3 years, I drove 2 hours to attend meetings, to do the banquets, to do anything that I could that my schedule allowed to go up and be a part of that. And then a couple of years ago, this will be my second full year with the Pella chapter, the Red Rock Peachtree chapter, and they came to me and was like, hey, we just need some help down here. At that time, I think they were down to 4 committee members. Zach's one of those now, but everything that we do is all volunteer based. And, I wanted to get to the point where not only am I doing something I love with waterfowl hunting, but we're doing something that's productive and giving back and providing public hunting opportunities to waterfowl hunters in our area. And that's where Delta Waterfowl really shines.
No, I mean, you guys do like the wood duck boxes and goose nests you guys did a couple weekends ago.
Yeah.
I mean, it definitely helps.
Yeah. And it comes to a point, and I was talking with Nick, our regional director, about this weekend, because I went down to Washington and helped out a banquet down there. And it gets to a point, the wood duck boxes, goose nesting structures, hen houses, they're cool, right? I think for us, our chapter, we've got out roughly 16 wood duck boxes right now, and then now 8 goose nesting structures. Out of those wood duck boxes that we checked last year, 85% of those were utilized right here in Marion County. So that's huge. I mean, we are making ducks. But at a certain point, there's only so many wood duck boxes that you can put out. And I know you guys did an episode a few weeks ago about that Coal Creek project. I mean, we're going to be able to provide a water control structure for a new 90-acre wetland that wasn't there previously. If it was just, hey, there happened to be some rain. It is partnering off of a larger project that's already completed, but there's an overflow pipe, and with the elevations and everything else that we have for that, it's going to hold a significant amount of water for us. And then I've also got a meeting with Todd Gosling tomorrow to talk about some other projects that he's got in mind for the upcoming years, which is fantastic. Todd's a very good-minded guy. He's trying to make as much waterfowl habitat as he can around here. And so it's going to be interesting to see what our chapter and the Des Moines chapter as well as partnered with us on this. And I think you talked with Zach about Iowa Sportsman's Club partnering on the project. If we can all take our money and fund that together, we can do a lot bigger things and really make an impact versus, just some wood deck boxes here and there.
Right. I mean, anything helps. But Todd does have some cool things planned. He's showed us some of the stuff that he's got coming up that he'd like to see before he retires. And I was like, when you retire? Next year, hopefully? So we have this done this year or what?
I wish I had the check to do that. I mean, we don't. So part of the cool part about Delta Waterfowl is that we have what's called our Waterfowl Heritage Fund. So any of the banquets that you go to in the area, depending on how much money you raise that night, you get to keep between 15 and 30% of that money right here locally. So that can be used to sponsor trap teams. That can be used for our wood duck boxes. That can be for habitat work. Like one of the other examples that we have besides the Coal Creek one is down in Oskaloosa at the Russell Wildlife area. They're putting a couple new wetlands down there, and our chapter is going to be funding seeding efforts with the Iowa Sportsman's Club to put in some new food plots this year. So.
Yeah, we were. I was at that meeting when we were talking about that.
Yep.
I mean, it's not much, but it's something, and it's better than nothing. I mean, we're losing habitat every day. Like they're not making any new habitat. Right? Very few. I mean, Coal Creek is going to be some good habitat.
Absolutely.
Yeah. So that's. I mean, how many acres was that?
That was a little over 800 acres for the main compound.
Yeah. So I mean, that's all said and done. We're going to have almost 900 acres in the next couple of years.
It's fantastic.
Hunting ground, and with public ground nowadays, it's so overcrowded.
Mm-hmm.
I know they say that hunter numbers are down, but it feels like hunter numbers are way because everybody's so concentrated.
Yeah. And you look at the access too that people now have, like before in the area that you hunt a lot, there's not too many people that run outboards the way that you run outboards. They don't have jack plates. They don't do whatever. I mean, a lot more people have invested the money into mud motors, things that way to run more throughout the year. Obviously later in the year, water levels, that helps people with the outboards, but there's a lot more people that have noticed what the conditions are, where they can and can't get to, and they've spent that money. And that's where it gets to where people are setting up closer to you, all that good stuff. The thing that I think is going to be really good about Coal Creek is that, it's going to be walk-in electric motor only, which some people might scoff at that, be like, oh, I can't put my, $30,000 boat in there. That's fine. It's going to act as a secondary refuge, which we obviously need because there's major infrastructure issues with the refuges that we have here currently.
I agree. I hate refuges, but I think more habitat for the ducks to utilize, but I also don't limit the hunters that are the ones that are funding everything.
Yeah.
I mean, if you look at the Mississippi River, look at the refuges they put in the past 25 years. It's absolutely insane. And now look at the hunter success compared to 25 years ago when they were half the refuges.
Yeah.
I mean, at the end of the day, a refuge is a good thing to have. Give your birds a safe space to go to, because like here, you can be out there hunting all day. There's no off time,
right?
No shooting time at 1 o'clock or 2 o'clock to give those birds the last 2.5 hours of the day to rest or get comfy. Yeah. But at what point does it become too much where you just, as soon like we get a flight of birds, right?
Mm-hmm.
We've got 2 refuges here. One of them, either one have that much water.
Yeah.
They're kind of worthless, to be honest, right now. But on a good year where you have water, the one at Boxcar will hold some ducks if you have water in it. But like, look at the ducks now. You have them for 2 days, if at most, and they go sit on that big body of water and they don't come off until sunset.
Yeah.
It's just, it sucks because you've got guys that want to go out there and scout, which I get. I get scouting and all that, but at the same time, it's hard to get guys to be mindful of not to go ripping in everywhere and just bust all the ducks out of there.
Blowing through rafts and everything else. Yeah. I mean, that's a hunter etiquette conversation.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I do think
Mixed with common sense, and then common.
there's not years. I do think the Coal Creek projects. I think the first year that it has ample water, we're going to see an instant impact. Because it's not going to get the hunting pressure like these other places do.
Absolutely not.
No, that goes into like what I was just getting ready to talk about. Like, you probably didn't see it a lot when you first came here because you already had boats. But like, 5 years ago, I was walking in everywhere I went.
Mm-hmm.
So you get familiar with the faces that you see often on the weekends, you know. It is insane to me how many of those people from back then have boats now.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, speaking on the seeing familiar faces, look at Boxcar boat ramp now compared to 5 years ago.
Yeah.
5 years ago, I hunted there. I've always hunted there every day in November, basically.
Yeah.
You could name everyone.
And I can name everyone.
Yeah.
A busy day there was 15 boats.
Yeah.
Now, I mean, you're talking
By the time we're
plus.
putting off, there's 15 in a line.
I mean, we had a day this year where the boat batteries died not even a quarter mile from the boat ramp, and we had to get back, and we were the third or fourth boat at the ramp.
We were the third, but by the time that we got the little boat off the trailer, there was another like 7 in line.
But by the time I had to go to Pella to get batteries at Walmart,
You're about this.
they opened at 6. By the time I got back, we got the batteries in the boat. We almost put the boats back on the trailer and left because
We thought about it.
we went out and we picked the dumbest spot you could. I mean, I think that spot could be good if you had about another 8 inches of water.
Yep.
You could get a little farther back, it never opens up.
Yeah.
But where we were hunting, we weren't going to kill anything. We had some Tito come in. We did on the boat. But and there was nowhere else to go unless I wanted to, go hunt close to somebody, which I'm just not a fan of that.
No.
If I can avoid it, or even if I can't avoid it, I'm probably just going to leave and go somewhere else at that point.
Yeah.
It's just, I know when people do it to me, it bothers me. So I'm like,
I'm not going to be that dickhead.
yeah, try not to.
I didn't know it bothered you that much.
Hey, Kate, can you reach over there and just unplug it?
But I mean, it kind of circles back to, we do obviously need more habitat for people to hunt. The other thing I think that makes honestly a larger impact is the people that are willing to go out and try new places. And then obviously I was reading an article about the Onyx and the changing of hunting and all that stuff. That's not just for private grounds, it's also public grounds. Like you look at the people that, wouldn't go drive 2 hours to do something. And now you're scouting everything out ahead of time. All right, let's go check this spot on aerial imagery. And I do think that does have an effect on what we do. I mean, I know looking at my stuff, I've gone places and tried things just because of that. You're sitting there bored one night and you're like, okay, let's go do something different. Nothing's working here. Let's go do that.
Well, you can look up recent imagery and find out where that snow line is too,
100%.
and go hunt the snow line.
Depending on when they update it.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, it depends, but sometimes if you catch it on the right day, it's updated within a day.
Yeah.
Or that day, and it's like you can go right there. Yeah. There's a snow line.
Yeah.
Like it does. It helps out a lot, but it also, can hurt the people that hunt that same area all the time to a sense.
Yeah.
But it is what it is. It's part technology. It's easier for everybody, and everybody has access to it. It's not like anybody has more access than anybody else. We can all see it. Why don't you tell us a little bit about the banquet coming up? I know you guys were getting close to selling out. Are you sold out?
We are very, very close. So our banquet is May 30th. We've done it at Pella the last few years. We're doing it at Knoxville this year at the National Guard Armory. So
right
in the backyard,
literally in my backyard.
Right. Throw a rock at it. But no, we decided it was time for a change. So we've got all new catering this year. We've got new bartending service. And part of the cool part about the growth that we've seen as our chapters that we're now going to have the entire banquet package at our event, which hasn't happened ever. So that's going to be fantastic. As far as, what you're looking at, we've got one more table. We have 3 different levels for our tables. We've got buddy table for $500. That includes your bottomless beer, all that good stuff. And then you get an entry into the buddy table gun, which this year is, I think it's a Beretta A300 is what we're giving away for the buddy table gun. So we've got 13 buddy tables right now. So 1 out of 13 chances for those guys. And then they can divvy up however they want to. And then on top of that, we've got our $1,000 table, which is the conservation table. That'll be a pointer 410 over under, something that's just a little bit different. And then we've got an elite table, which is $2,500. That's got a G-Force 9mm jawbone semi-automatic. Thing's freaking sweet. But yeah, I've got one more table left, and then we are completely sold out. We won't have any walk-ins or anything that way. So if anybody's interested in a table, get a hold of me. We've got right now 40 guns are going home that night. So it's gonna be like
We won't leave with one of them.
Nope.
no, he's guaranteed for
We got one.
Oh, I'm guaranteed for one.
Are you buying that table?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Then yeah.
It's me, and we're in the sportsman's club. We're just doing
Yeah.
one.
So then you guys,
Because we're gonna between our table, we're gonna just draw for it.
Yep.
Between the guys and
Yeah, we talked about just doing high card. Just pull a pulls high card out of that.
Yeah, we could do something like that too, or we thought about just drawing, picking a number, and then we just put them in a randomizer.
It would just be fist fights. That's amazing.
Yes, I kept going back.
And it has to be after 10 o'clock. That way they're good at drunk.
Yeah, you'll be like,
Everybody do each other.
Hey, it's the middle one. Before we get drunk, we'll set up the cameras that we got right here,
perfect.
right
Well,
on the fence, and we can
Dude,
do a
that'd be
little
sick.
boxing match.
Yeah.
But no, it's going to be super fun. We've got some new games this year. If you attended our banquet last year, so we've got a liquor ladder this year. Winner going to take all on that. We'll have a new bags game, and we've got some other good ideas that are going to be coming up here.
Getting rid of that silly Plinko game.
The rodeo is on May 30th, and we could turn Zach into a mechanical bull for that night if that'll get you.
You son of a bitch on that.
Beers.
Holy cow, Zach, we got to practice after this event.
Explain this liquor ladder thing. I'm intrigued.
So what we're going to do is we're going to take a step ladder, and it's going to be filled with booze, everything that you could think of, whatever our committee members decide to bring in. And I think what we're going to do is probably $20 or $25 an entry. It'll be a raffle game. And so at the end of the night or whenever we decide to give it away, we'll have somebody pull your ticket out. And if you win, you get to take the entire shebang.
Huh.
So we'd be able to stock up for.
We saw it at
at
Capital Callers banquet, and it's just kind of like damn, that's a really cool idea. And it's not, he's not joking when it's probably going to be Hawkeye to E.H. Taylor and everything in between.
Good shit.
Bill asked, does a legend get a free ticket? No, Bill, you got to pay double.
Ooh. Damn, dude.
What he gets for always talking shit in there.
He's been off the shit talking.
I will say, I like Bill because he took place of August. August used to be in here always kind of.
I know.
And Bill has better grammar than August, so I can read,
Way better.
I can read everything Bill has said. No, this is here in Knoxville, Bill. Knoxville, Iowa. That this banquet will be happening in.
If you get lost, I can direct you.
Like
It's directly in my backyard.
at the airport, you get out there with the deals.
Yeah, we could probably get him a couple of lights and have him stand out on the highway to survey doesn't mess
We'll
with
just get
him.
them.
shit.
We'll just get them lightsabers. You can go out there with the lightsabers.
All right, you didn't say that. I want in.
Zach and Kate out there just going at it in front of the entrance.
I will need Zach to work the game. So
Yeah.
let it be early and then you'll lose it.
It'd be fun.
Yeah.
How everybody gets there. He's fine.
I think doors.
Looks at the two dipshits in the middle of the road with lightsabers fighting each other.
Right in front of Knoxville Raceway.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think doors are going to open at, is it 4 or 4:30? Can't remember if I got one of those flyers here with me or not.
Buddy came with notes and everything.
I've got my
Right.
gun list. I've got how stuff went last year. I've got.
So when you get done running through that, run through the gun.
I'll say we should definitely run through the gun list.
Well,
I don't want to give it all away.
We'll touch back on that, but while we're kind of on banquets and stuff, I want to talk about the Delta Expo that we have from the Des Moines this year.
Heck yeah.
Absolutely.
If you are a waterfowl hunter, or even if you're not a waterfowl hunter, you just want to go hang out and have some beers. It's the first time it's going to be in the Midwest area. They've done it in Louisiana. They did in Arkansas for a couple of years. Last year was in Oklahoma City. That was a ton of fun. But anything under the sun, I mean, they'll be selling boats. They'll be doing a whole bunch of stuff. I mean, it is a super cool event. They've got a banquet there the Friday night, and it is a ton of fun to go to.
Are you going to be there all 3 days?
All 3 days, I'll be at the Iowa Hunting Products booth.
I already bought my 3-day pass already,
Heck yeah.
and I got to pay for the table already. I've got Forever already sent me the money for his seats,
Oh, I'll get you some cash.
but I need to do that tomorrow. We're going to be at the banquet. We got a table already. So
The cool part about going to that banquet is you get to see the banquet package for the next year. So that's kind of their unveiling for the next year of Delta Waterfowl banquets. And there are some other really cool things that they do, some different chances and things that way. So last year was my first expo. I went down to Oklahoma City and it was awesome.
yeah, I've seen them on TikTok and Facebook and stuff like that. All
fucking
people
nuts.
that go there, and it just looks like a ride.
Yeah.
All I was trying to do was get Colton to bring me something back from last year's, and he ignored me all freaking weekend.
Do you blame him?
Yes.
I mean,
I was
I know. I just, but it looked, just from the Snapchats and stuff, and it looked badass.
I will say, like, I'm super stoked for the banquet, but I probably won't buy anything because stuff's going to go pretty high price there. That one.
It definitely does. Yeah.
It's not
That's
that
good,
old,
though.
But I might get the house the next month.
Yeah, I'm not going to. I mean, I'm buying a house like 2 months before that. I'm not going to
It'll be
spend
fine.
too much money.
Blow it. Fuck it.
Well, you said
makes
you're going to be
sense.
buying some prints from our banquet for your new house. So we've got some really sweet ones. I can show you some here after this.
I need to start saving my pennies.
But then, yeah, I mean, that event, I think last year they did just over 50,000 people down in Oklahoma City. So
At the banquet?
Not the banquet, but
No, the weekend.
Oh, I was going to say, like, that's
I think there was probably at least 500 people at that banquet last.
I know. I need to get the table
So,
booked
yep.
tonight or tomorrow. That way,
Yeah.
I make sure
Yeah.
I don't
Yes.
lose out on that table.
Yeah, I mean,
Maybe we do it tonight after I finish this.
Yeah, I
last
need
year-
to get to the hotel book too.
last year was pretty funny. They're doing bush light silos, and for every silo they gave away, they gave you a silo koozie. And so our table walked out of there with a whole backpack full of freaking bush light silo koozies. It was
Like, I guess it's
Like,
like,
yeah.
turn into a competition between our table and Colton's table.
That's
That's fine
fine.
already.
I'm gonna
There's no way to bring suitcases with us.
or you can buy one at the banquet.
I will say, if I do end up going, I will not be participating in the bushlight silos.
Yeah,
I
well, you got to
didn't
race the
think about
next night.
that. I thought you had a race that night.
I think we race Saturday.
Yeah, you probably don't want to be
Yeah.
drinking that much then.
No, I won't drink at all.
Yeah, but he might go.
Yeah.
I didn't think about that. I can't remember.
It'd be a
I
good
got
thing.
everything wrote down. I'm pretty sure I have another table or seat open still.
We'll have to double check.
Well, after this gets done, we'll make sure you're not racing that Friday night.
Yeah.
For some reason.
Heck yeah.
I mean, we could test the theory. Maybe you race better hungover.
No, I've tried it. It's not good.
He told out of car every time.
Damn.
Not even that. I'm just a fucking asshole the entire night.
So
Worse than
like the same as me and so.
So Daniel would definitely be skipping that night. I think.
he'll show up 3 hours late.
Yeah.
But
Just
No.
like that then.
I think that's going to be a blast. And now I heard a rumor that it goes to Kansas City next year, but then it comes back to Des Moines after that.
Des Moines will be back again in 2029. So they're talking about maybe Minneapolis, maybe Chicago. Ooh, yeah, both those aren't very good choices, but it'll be back in Des Moines in 29. So
That's gonna be cool though. I mean, if you're trying to get into waterfowl hunting and you want to learn stuff, like I do spoils calls.
Yeah.
And I know Jeff Wells personally, and if you ever like he's always at those events usually. You go up there to his booth, and that goes for most of these call makers nowadays, and talk to him. They're willing to walk you through stuff, help you like pick out a call and tune it for you and help you, like give you little tips, tricks. Like they're not going to spend an hour with you, but they're going to spend a little time with you and get most of them.
yeah, and I mean, I always tell people like working at the IHP booth, best time to buy a call if you're wanting to have somebody work with you is at shows. You got them right there. You can interact.
Yeah.
But it's not just call makers. I mean, every big name that you see in the industry is, well, probably 95% of them are at this show. So you can walk around, like last year, our booth was right around from Doc to Duck, and, just being able to walk around and see those guys and shake hands with them. I mean, it's really something cool to experience.
Yeah, it's like, touch on even just, Foils being able to talk with you and go over the calls. I mean, I had the same thing with Jake from JT. It wasn't even his call, and he was helping me out and helping me tune it, stuff like that. So I think a lot of those guys are in that same category of they're there to help you as a person, not just to try to push their shit on you.
Yeah. That's one thing I feel like the new generation of waterfowlers kind of miss out on, because like when I came up waterfowl hunting, I looked forward to every year, and I can't remember when it was, but I think it was like June or July, when Foils and Barney Caleb and all these guys, Fred Zing, they'd release their DVDs.
Yeah.
Dude, I would literally sit there for that weekend, and I'd watch them videos, all of them, and I'd watch them numerous times.
Oh, yeah.
Because it was just pumped. And then I remember the first time I ever met Jeff, I was like 9 or 10. And it was just like awesome. Like it was the best experience of my life. Yeah. But I feel like kids nowadays don't get that, because you got YouTubers that do videos and stuff like that, but there's nobody that really, like Joe Hines is kind of the biggest guy that does it, like a video platform. And and you got to sign up for a subscription. Like I just don't feel like the nostalgia is there for like how it used to be when a DVD would come out.
No, you go save your allowance money to go buy a DVD or whatever.
Yes.
It's, it's free, not your fingertips
like-
anymore.
Even for me nowadays, it's going there and seeing all the people that I grew up like idling. Like it's just crazy that you can go and talk to him. And I've known Jeff for a long time. Like my grandpa grew up with Jeff Wells.
Yeah.
And Jeff Wells hunts with my dad all the time. But it's cool. It's still surreal to me and cool just to be able to have the opportunities to go and see all these people that are, big wigs in the waterfowl industry.
Yeah.
Even if you don't see eye to eye with them, it's still cool to see the people that do it every day, night in, night out.
And for those that want to see and meet like an actual big wig in the waterfowl industry, Tyler's gonna be at the show all week.
I need them.
Another thing about Jeff too, the first call that I ordered, he didn't have the color that I wanted. Instead of just sending me a text or an email, whatever, he called me. And I was like, damn, that's kind of cool. We talked for 15, 20 minutes, just kind of getting like the background of where I was hunting and shit. And I was like, that's pretty cool.
He's a super relatable guy.
Dude. Yeah. He's got some big ass fucking hands though, dude. You go shake his hand. No, I'm serious. Like, when you go shake his hand, you're like, holy shit.
Fucking bear paw.
Yeah.
Jeff used to get down. He's an old boy from Calhoun County, Illinois, and they used to like throw down there.
Ooh, that was like hard.
Yeah, that was aggressive.
Very.
But no, so that's going to be a really sweet event that it's not like a once in a lifetime thing, but it's once very rare and you get to people. It's like for all the people in Iowa, it's not very often you're going to get this opportunity to go to something this big on this scale for waterfowl hunters. Like even the Deer Classic, it's a big event.
It is, but it's in Des Moines every year.
Yeah.
It's like, if you miss a year, it's like, oh shit, let's go next year.
Yeah, I mean, this is the National Expo.
Yeah.
It's so cool.
Yeah.
So, and a lot of that, you look at like the chapters and the involvement, everybody thinks, oh, it's down south. We obviously, we do compete with DU a little bit on stuff, but, their majority of the chapters are actually in the Midwest, which is cool to see. Iowa's got 19, and a lot of that involvement and the work that we've done around here has made it so that they're like, okay, we need to give those people an opportunity to see what this is.
Yeah.
Most definitely. But yeah, we touched on everything I wanted to touch on that one. Like, I was looking forward to that conversation. So I think it was going to be fun.
Yeah. Strictly out of curiosity, were you, as obviously duck hunting before Delta, were you a member of DU before you even thought about Delta?
Ooh,
that's a good question. So I had never been a part of any other conservation agency. Obviously, everybody, even if you don't sign up for them, it seemed like you always got the DU stuff in the mix.
Yeah.
Right?
Yep.
I'm not going to say that I never bought one of the stickers because obviously they are super cool.
Yep.
And, probably the next question that you guys would lead into is, okay, well, what's the difference between Delta Waterfowl and Ducks Unlimited?
This guy's just reading my mom.
Well, I mean,
Well, he came with notes. Come on.
and we spent the day on Tuesday at the Capitol, and obviously Ducks Unlimited was right across from us. We had people come up and ask, what is the difference? And when you look at Delta Waterfowl versus DU, we're more focused on the end user, which is the everyday waterfowl hunter, right? And there's a couple things that we do to ensure that, right? So like anything that I were to go give money out of my WHF money for our chapter, any chapter throughout the United States or Canada, if they were ever go in and sell that piece of property, they owe us our money back plus interest, and that land has to be public hunting. So it's providing more opportunities. We're not going to go out and sponsor this huge marsh that some private duck club's going to use. We are focused on the waterfowl. I'm just saying, we are focused on the actual hunter. And, you look back at the history of this, Delta Waterfowl started back in 1911 with Mr. Bell, who was the owner of General Mills. And he really focused on the canvasback, declining number of canvasbacks that were coming out of the Delta Marsh up in Canada. And so, back in the late 30s, he brought Mr. Leupold in, and they started actually researching, okay, how can we make sure our production is better? Between the predator stuff, their nesting things that they do between hen houses, they go and they drag giant chains and jump hen mallards and try and figure out where they're nesting, all this stuff. We're a research organization that is focused on making more ducks for our hunters.
Yeah. I don't think it was started for, but I feel like they kind of veered away from that.
We don't sponsor NASCAR.
And
No, I'm not trying to say that in a negative way. I mean, DU does do a lot of great things for habitat. But, when you look at, if I'm going to go spend money at a banquet, I want to make sure that I'm actually able to use something that those funds are going towards. And you can guarantee that, and you're going to see that with the money that we spend, like, between the Coal Creek project or Wood Duck Boxes, we're going to give some money to a trap team. We're able to spend that money right here locally and reinvest in our community.
That's the one reason, like, if I had to choose between the two, it's going to be Delta at the end of the day. I mean, me personally, I've always been more of like a state only, like, it's like, just say the ISC because that's the one we are talking about here recently. I'm more of like a supporter of something like that only because in that instance, all the funds stay in just this state. Now, Delta definitely keeps a lot more money in the state than what Ducks Limited chapters around here do. Yeah, I'm well aware. But like in Illinois, I was part of an organization that was just for like our lake.
Yeah.
Which was something I was looking at doing prior to trying to get this stuff going with the ISC.
Mm-hmm.
And hopefully that still happens. I mean, it's a work in progress. Nothing happens quick and those kind of things.
Yeah.
But we were able to keep all our money, and we had sub-impoundments that we flooded every year, and it was a state ground, but we were going in there doing all the levee work. We'd update the pumps and we'd supply the diesel. We're supplied like the seed, stuff like that, which I guess this year they started a new plan and they're no longer planting corn on state ground in Illinois. So that's going to be
Really?
stopping migration.
Yeah. Even in the refuge, they're not planting, refuges are supposedly not planting corn, which is going to be interesting if they actually don't. I'll be very surprised to see how that plays out with people. Because you're going to have some people that are very, very mad they're not planting corn, but then you're going to be a lot of people that are, no, I'd say 50-50 on that, honestly, but whatever.
Yeah. And those organizations definitely make a huge impact. When you get to keep 100% of money, that's great. But, there is a lot to be said on the ducks that we do shoot and the habitat work and everything that Delta Waterfowl is doing north of us that obviously greatly impacts what we see. But I mean, at the end of the day, you got to have freaking weather, which we haven't had in years, it seems like. Not till after.
You don't have
I know.
the production move. Hey, look at Halloween.
I know there's certain calendar birds.
No, they're not calendar birds. They're moonface.
Okay.
Same fucking thing.
I was just saying that's what potato.
You can't say they're going to come on the same day every year.
It's
like
one
an
day
3-day window.
1 day different every year.
7 days. 7 day window.
Wow.
So like we have a week inside of a calendar year.
I think you still need weather.
Yeah.
So like
You need
Yeah,
weather
7 days
for
is
some.
3
so it's almost like a calendar.
If you go back to the 60s and look at the weather,
Mhm.
the weather was hot. And they never had snow, and they were still killing mallards in Louisiana every day throughout the season. And they have record of,
Well, you only know that because you're that old.
I know. But they have records of years where they had no snow back in the 60s and 70s, and they were still killing crazy amounts of birds down there. I mean, they're still killing a lot of ducks down south, but if you look at the species they're killing, it's mostly teal. I think it's over 50% teal that they kill down there nowadays.
Yeah. I mean, I got guys down south that per work that you become friends with and stuff, and it's teal and woodies.
Wait, you become friends with coworkers?
Well, friends, acquaintances, whatever. Close enough. But yeah, I mean, it's the majority of what they're killing is teal and woodies.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not gonna say that it doesn't take weather to move birds. Weather does move birds, but the one thing that people have to take into account nowadays is there's way too many city ponds that you cannot hunt that are natural refuges now that take place and precedent over all these public refuges.
Yeah.
And that's where like the people that are way more like the biologists know way more about the shit than we do. I don't think they're taking that as much into account as they should.
Yeah.
Because there's like, we need a refuge for the birds to rest. Well, motherfucker, there's 85 city ponds 2 miles away that all these birds are sitting on. Then they go out to feed and they come back at the lake and then they go back to the pond.
Yep. Somebody back there throwing them bread and whatever else, which is not good to do. But
no, definitely.
See, I run to the other side of friends and family that live next to those. And I'm like, would you come and shoot some of these birds? And I'm like, I would absolutely love to. If you could talk to your local senator, legislator to let us do that, that'd be great. But no, we're piss too many Karens off.
Yeah.
Oh,
Even if we had pellet guns, bud, I'd fucking rip it.
See an 85% banned kill rate of.
Oh my gosh.
that's 100% why they don't do it. It's that.
you just imagine like the guy that just run them over there earlier this year, just mowing him down.
See, I was like,
There was 2 of them.
I was kind of like, all right,
There was two.
yeah, he saw a band in that group, and then I just learned he just didn't like eat. So I was like, ah, correct.
At least give us the band.
The problem is he ran into 9 and killed 1. I'm like, you suck.
Yeah, no, he definitely needs to practice.
Was it Bandit?
I don't know.
No, it was.
It wasn't?
No.
He sucks.
Yeah, no, he needs to go practice without getting caught.
He needs to come talk to me.
We'll ride around with my rifle.
But
joking. Really.
No shit. Don't fucking get me canceled.
Yeah.
well, I mean, everybody has their agreements and disagreements, and like I said, weather does push birds. But at the end of the day, I think, and it's personal opinion, because there's no study on this, and there never will be a study on it unless it's somebody outside of Ducks Limited. But the way that we have managed waterfowl now compared to how we used to do it 20 years ago has changed 180. It's completely different.
Yeah.
And look at the migration now. I mean, granted, the numbers are down from droughts, and there's nothing anybody can do about that unless we drill wells and pump the numbers back full.
Do the cloud seeding and focus it on areas that we want.
They already tried that. It's not working out so far. It's still wildfires going on.
I'm going to be the devil's advocate and just instill another aspect that I feel a lot of guys are
All right, well, this was a fun podcast. We'll talk to you guys later.
Look at tracking numbers.
100%.
I mean, how many nest traders are not killed anymore because either A, guys don't want to put the time or effort or funds into it because they can't sell fur for anything anymore.
Yeah.
I mean, how many, I was opened up raccoons for all year long on your property, and it's coyotes are obviously all year long, just different method of take, but fox, possum, coons, skunk, they're all nest trading animals that
100%.
when we can't sell fur, there's so many guys that don't do it.
And I will give Zach credit on this too. The coot are terrible nest raiders up in the Prairie Palm region.
But I heard the coot numbers are down.
Shoot all of them.
Because Zach has killed them all.
Dude, that's all I want my limits to be.
I run them over as many as I can.
I was going to say, I know where some of them have gone.
It's really cool when you see them spitting out the prop and chums.
There's been a couple times I'm like, oh, that was a bird.
Obviously, we go back and pick up those birds if we kill them, but
Correct.
Yeah, got to eat them.
Yeah.
Side
the
note.
Chinese have to eat them. We give those to them.
Jesus Christ.
Shout out to the local Knoxville.
Hey,
The buffet is
the old lucky buffet. I love it.
You know where the food's coming from.
I love to get a feet on a stick over there. You know what I mean?
God damn.
Oh.
This is just a whole cancel podcast.
I got it. My bad.
That's fine. You can't cancel us. It's fine.
That is interesting. I didn't know that they were actually a problem.
But the coots are
Oh, yeah.
terrible.
Really good.
They will go out there and they will run the hen off and then just destroy the nest. And I think they just eat the eggs, don't they, or something like that?
Okay. I didn't know if it was like strictly like the quote unquote dominance thing where they just didn't want it or if they were actually eating the eggs.
No.
They kill them and then put their own in there.
I almost killed one in Smug BD's parking lot in Des Moines a couple of years ago.
That's impressive.
That was fucking wild.
It was hanging out in the park in a bush right in front of Smug BD's. We were headed to North Dakota on a hunting trip. We would stop there for dinner and we were leaving to get on the road. And I walk out and a coot comes waddling out of the bush in front of us and I chased it across the whole parking lot.
Freaking insane.
It went over the interstate, so hopefully it got hit on the interstate. Probably drank.
And that was when he realized he was slow.
The boat passed. I almost got Ellie out of the truck. She was in the truck watching the whole thing go down. She's standing on the center console just watching this coot. And me come running by in front of the truck.
She's probably like, yeah, it's not that fucking easy, is it?
I'm losing the cripple.
Were you still smoking at the time?
Yeah.
I need a heater. Tap me in.
It's good. Oh. But not something you see every day. Coot and smoking these.
No. Yeah.
Kind of a wild spot for a coot to be.
Welcome to the Metro.
Yeah.
No.
I don't know. There's a lot of things that go on in our world today that we've changed in the past. And obviously, like I said, duck numbers are down and there's absolutely nothing we can do about a drought.
No.
And that's the driving factor of why duck numbers are down.
Yeah.
But everybody's got their opinion on it. I mean, my dad told me one thing the other day. I think I told you, Tate, about the flooded corn. Because, it's a big thing right now. And I'm a part of the Flyway Federation and those guys. I help them out where I can. And I talk to my dad's a huge part of it. He sponsors Josh Bone's podcast.
Okay.
But so I talk to them all the time. And my dad's like, well, we're gaining traction. This might actually happen where we're going to do a controlled study possibly for X amount of time of maybe getting rid of flooded corn or controlling how much they can flood.
Yeah.
He's like, man, I'm going to be it's going to suck really bad if we're wrong about this. And we have to go, sorry guys, you can go back to flooding your core.
Well, and that's the thing with it is either way that it goes, you're going to have somebody that's be like, oh, they skewed this or that. And it does have to be some sort of outside organization that's going to go in and do that. And it needs to happen. And so it'll be interesting to see how that goes the next few years.
It's gonna let a lot of people mad, and it's
Either way.
don't know which.
Either way, yeah.
Either way, somebody's going to be pissed.
Yeah, it doesn't matter what you do, you're gonna piss somebody off or get people off.
And that goes back to what I said when we started the podcast. Like, no matter what you say,
Somebody's going to be
and in this case, what you do, somebody's going to be pissed.
Yeah.
You can't fucking please everybody.
Because I'm also a part of the Flyway Federation Lies Exposed Facebook page. So I'm seeing all the things that the Flyway Federation will put out, and then these guys copy and paste it and say this is bullshit. And sometimes they're right. Like sometimes there's stuff that is not 100% accurate.
Yeah.
If you look it up and don't just do an AI search into it. Actually do some digging.
Yeah.
Obviously, anything people put on the internet, you can counter it with something. If you're willing to put the legwork in, I'm not saying that all. Like I know a lot of waterfowl biologists try to be as ethical as possible, but nowadays with the money that is involved in the sport, a lot of people are questioning how 100% ethical are some of these biologists. Now, not every one of them, but there are some that work for certain people that do these studies, and it's like we know where your money came from. Like. How much influence does money have on our sport nowadays when it comes to scientific data that none of us in this room are qualified to look up and say,
fuck no.
With it. I mean, I'm just a hillbilly from southern Illinois, so.
Now you live in Knoxville.
Gotta move out of here.
Oh, late.
Yeah, way too late.
All your money.
So sell it.
You can.
Want to buy it?
I just bought one.
I'll buy another one.
No.
Come on.
Looking for a house.
It's true.
True. I've seen his plans.
Oh no.
No, not building a house
Yeah.
anymore.
Nope, he bought one.
He was like going down the stretch road like this and then went and took a hard line.
Well, it was a huge debacle with the first lender I went through. The second lender I went through, I could have built the place I wanted.
Yeah.
But
He's better off doing what he did than what he wanted to do.
Fair enough.
it's gonna be interesting.
Especially time wise.
Yeah, no, I mean I could move in here probably in the next 2-ish weeks, 3 weeks.
I peed in your yard the other day.
If you pee in my yard one more time, I'm gonna shoot you.
Technically, I was standing not on your property. The stream just went over there
Where were you standing at?
on the driveway.
Which driveway?
The second one.
The gravel?
Yeah.
You're peeing to the west?
Yeah.
Yeah, you peed on my property. You're getting shot.
Dang.
And I think the live stream.
FBI don't know where I live right now.
I need to see the TikTok. Watch me shoot this trespasser in the face.
Next thing you know, he just buys a little airsoft gun and he's just fucking racking rounds at you when you pull in the driveway.
Oh man, that'd
Be awesome.
I'm about it.
Well, let's get back to this. So the Delta versus Ducks Limited debate is a hot topic nowadays, and we put up a poll this week.
I like
funny.
I know why you like that.
There was only 2 people that voted for Ducks Limited on that's who they would prefer to support. Which I mean, by all means, if you're gonna if you can't support one but you can support the other, it doesn't hurt to support one rather than none. But it's 98% of the people that voted, I think, or whatever it was, were Delta. Yeah. So kind of.
And I think a lot of that comes back to them being able to see their dollar spent locally.
Exactly.
Yeah, it's huge.
And that's huge. I mean, there are some DU projects, especially in northern Iowa, that are pretty cool. And they got their big signs and stuff out there saying they did it. But I think you look at the local impact that you can have, and that's kind of where there's been a shift from DU to Delta Waterfowl in the last few years.
I think it's good anyway, right? You start with DU and Delta's kind of taking, I feel like, some of what DU did, and they're like, we're going to apply this to this. Well, in 40 years, we might have another group that goes, I really like what Delta's doing, but I think if we tweak this a little bit, so they're going to pull a lot of what Delta does and just tweak it a little bit more. So you're constantly changing and having that evolution. It's good either way.
Bill just pulled up the perfect comment at the perfect time. He said, nobody is perfect, boys. That is fucking spot on. And that goes back to what we've been saying. You're not going to please everybody.
Yep.
Somebody's going to be pissed no matter what you do.
Yeah. And we've worked together with DU on projects, and we're more than happy to. So not trying to say that it's one organization over the other, but absolutely. We anything that you can do, be part of it.
I think just like If you want bad enough, you can get it.
I was gonna get it. It just I was trying to stress up knocking the computer, the microphone, the headset off.
Or a shoulder.
Yeah. My back was actually going to get thrown out there. Thanks for the help.
Not till later.
That's what I'm here for.
Oh God. I'm sorry. He's just kidding. Gary's back now. He's got to go straight home after this.
It's true. She gave me a 2-hour time limit.
Damn, dude. Oh, yeah. It's wrapped up quick. So you got here about, oh no, you got here 5 minutes early. We're fine.
Oh yeah, no,
We still have another hour.
Yeah. Plus, if you know me, I'm more of a permission guy than a forgiveness guy than a permission guy. So I mean,
I was like, wait a minute.
This guy's just slow.
Tried taking it up, shanked it up the first tee.
I know.
That went straight left into the pond.
Swear to God,
Killed 4 geese on the way down.
yep, it sounds great in my head, and then when it comes out, it's all fucked up.
Well, do you got anything that hasn't been talked about that you'd like to talk about, Zach? To ask Colton, or just anything that on this topic with Delta and Ducks Limited, or just breeding grounds, whatever. I mean, any of the topics we talked about tonight, do you have anything to add to it, or anything you'd like to speak on before we?
No, I'd say, I mean, anything that I was curious about, I kind of already knew about, just being part of Delta with Colton. So, I mean, it's
He got on here the last time and he had numbers way off. I went back and listened to that and I was like, kidding me, Zach.
well,
What have you done?
I think it's like 17, and then you snapped me immediately after the podcast is over. I was like, that's why I called you and put you on a podcast. But
Yeah, but somebody said you couldn't hear him on the.
No,
I haven't.
Oh,
listened
really?
back.
Damn.
I could hear it in the headset, so I figured I could hear you.
I know, and I went back. I did listen to it, and I went back to where that was, and I couldn't hear it. I'm like, I wonder why you couldn't hear it.
Damn. Well, my bad. So
That's good to know.
Yeah.
Put the phone to the microphone.
Yeah.
no, I mean,
Got to run the phone through the mixer.
it's all good stuff, right? I mean, all we can do is give people the information, and they can do with that information what they please. So I think we did a good job of that on covering between DU and Delta.
Yeah, Colton's a good talker. Very good talker.
Good bullshitter for sure.
Yeah.
I don't know about bullshit. He legit brought notes. Like I feel like
Did you read them? How do you know what it says? It could be a grocery list.
I
don't know if I
there's
can-
fucking
I tried reading it. It's all chicken scratch on.
Oh, yeah,
yeah, but there's check marks. I mean, he's fucking prepared. He's ready to go.
Check mark.
That's,
Yeah.
that's the people that I've been trying to reach out to for getting donations and stuff for our banquet. So,
Yeah.
I mean, there is like, if you've ever been on the backside of a banquet, you do get a package that you get. I've got the catalog here as well. But we do try to go out and get underwriting and things that way to help increase our final number for the end of the night. So it's important for what we do.
It is.
It helps our numbers, and then from that, our WHF fund is even larger than what it could be, and people come out and spend money and have a good time, and it's a ton of fun.
And, if we don't make money at these things, we can't do what we're trying to do.
That's true.
So
But so we're all.
That's the whole point.
Make sure you get your checkbook with you when you come to the banquet.
We do take card, so yeah, you can run around.
Is there a fee to that card?
No.
Oh, perfect.
Damn.
You can run around. You can run around with the card all night, and you'll get a little. When you check into our banquet, you give the front desk your card. They'll put a red T on your vendor number, and then at the end of the night, you can just swipe, and hopefully by that time, you forget how much you spent.
I can't wait to report it as fraud. My card got stolen at the end of the night.
this is bullshit.
Fucking dirtbag.
I was like, just got 6 free prints.
No, I wouldn't do that. That's crazy.
Allegedly.
I bet there's people that do that kind of stuff. Though.
Oh yeah.
It would not surprise
That'd
me.
be crazy.
I had that the first year with ISC. I didn't cancel a charge, but they blocked it. And then my credit card, the ISC called me. I was like, what? So I pulled out my credit card statement, and then there was a, hey, if this was you, hit, do the yes thing or whatever.
Yeah.
So I had to go through and recharge it. But I felt bad for they did it on Saturday, and I didn't get the phone call from them until Monday. I was like, oh, my bad. I was like, yeah, I did drink some beers and spend that much money.
Please don't do that at our banquet.
I will say back, we talked a little bit about how we don't have the water levels.
Mhm.
We talked to Todd a little bit. I've seen that. But we talked a little bit to Todd about water levels here at our local area we have.
Yeah.
And this year is going to be the first year in a long time that we haven't had any kind of maintenance or work going on to the dam. So we are supposed to be getting a copy of the elevation plan for waterfowl season and leading into waterfowl season that we will share with everybody when we get it. We'll make a little, our PR guy's going to practice a little bit for the next time he spells Okaboji.
Okaboki.
Okaboji. But
Damn, dude.
we'll make a little chart and share that hopefully with you guys. And I'm looking forward to that. Hopefully this year we can. I mean, obviously we're relying on Mother Nature. We're strictly a man-made lake and relying on the river to fill it up. But hopefully we get a normal rain year at least, and we can have some natural grasses, maybe some millet grow, and get the water up in time.
Yeah.
I don't look to see him have it where I like to see it when we're going to have it. I think that plan is going to be because he wants to raise the water through season, which I don't understand. I get why, but at the same time, you're limiting your hunting area.
Yeah.
And we're already limited on hunting area as it is. So,
100%.
but I get the reasoning behind it. But looking forward to seeing that plan, and hopefully we can have actual water this year at a decent time compared to the past 8 years since that flood. Wow.
Water and food.
I drove across Whitebreast today on the way back into town, and I'm like,
don't do it.
man, I was like, I hope it stays like that, because the plans I have for going out there and doing stuff to it would be nice.
Yeah.
Just creating more habitat on our own now. Because I talked to Todd about it, and like, as long as we talk to him about it, and he's willing to work with us on getting out there, helping put millet out or whatever we can do to clean up. One thing I talked to him about is cleaning up like the points, where there's a lot of, we have great willow growth, but there's a lot of places that are there's too many little willows growing out in places that we need to clean up and make more huntable areas that are not as hard to hunt.
And that's one thing that you can run into with talking to DNR officers or state management areas or whatever, is they get hung up on the liability of being able to do stuff and not. And that's one of the nice things that we have right here locally, is that we've got somebody that's fully on board with trying to make the best waterfowl habitat that we can right here.
Absolutely. I'd say he's after having a couple conversations with him and emailing him, and even Oren, our head DNR guy, is pretty reasonable.
Yeah.
It's really nice to have, especially with obviously Delta and all of us talking to those guys, that we kind of have that communication, right? I feel like there's a lot of things that don't get done because there's not the communication of, this is what we need, or do you guys have somebody that's willing to come out and do this? And, there's not a lot of those guys, so they're kind of stretched thin at certain times. So
between communication and manpower and funds. You could go out there with 10, 15 volunteers and make a huge dent on something that maybe wouldn't work with you on that. And that's where we actually had a meeting with the Iowa DNR on Monday at their head office. And we said, okay, well, where can we help? Get us in contact with the people that really need it. And so there's some really good conversations with that, and should be good to see where that goes.
That's the worst thing too. Like, you can line up 20 people and you might have 8 show up.
Right.
That's the shitty part.
And anytime you come to getting volunteers, it's hard to have, you got to line up, like you said, 20 people to have just 5 show up.
Yeah.
It's hard to get the people that actually show up that want to do it. Obviously everybody has their lives. This is just a hobby for everybody for the most part. We can't just stop everything they have going on in our life to do it.
Yeah.
But if you have the free time, it's not going to hurt to reach out to somebody, whether it's Delta or the DNR or even the ISC, maybe in the future, to figure out where you can help out to do something. There's always something that needs to be done or could be done. Especially if the funds are there to do it, sometimes they don't do it because they don't have manpower.
Yeah.
There's a lot of things that just that's the crazy part. If you look at the DNR's budget, sometimes funds don't get used, and those funds just sent back.
Yeah.
They don't get it banked it for the next year. They just go back to the government and go wherever they go at that point. See ya. I think who knows? Well,
I think that's about it.
Think so?
Yeah.
You got anything else you want to say?
I don't. If you want to attend the banquet,
you want to pimp out a little bit, maybe flash a little something on that banquet.
Oh yeah, the gunlet.
Oh yeah,
Never went to the gunlet.
Maybe not all of it, but maybe just a little sneak.
Go through like a quarter of it.
Let's see. So the gun of the year for Benelli is a Benelli M2. That's a Rod Roberts 20 gauge that will be given away. We are going to have 5 chances that are going to be guns to win that, and then 5 chances it'll be bourbon. So it'll be pretty cool. We got a Weatherby Element, a couple Franke Affinities. We've got some pretty cool Savage rifles as well. So if you're not a waterfowl hunter, we do still have something for you there. But there's a lot of really sweet guns. And if you're out one hunter, we've got some Condors. There was some custom engraving and stuff that way. So we try to have a wide range of stuff, and we've got different packages from like a road hunter package to goose bands and stuff that way. So We got a Predator package with a 22-250 on there. It's going to be a lot of fun.
Runner package is sick. Window mount for your gun, a thermal, and a case of beer.
We do provide booze with that.
Wild.
Not that we're supporting that after the hunt.
I'm not telling you what to do, but
But then, yeah, we're going to have a ton of great prints. We've got a really cool bush light, bottoms up LED light that we'll be doing on our live auction.
Just go ahead and take it off.
are we going to have the... I'm going to word this so I don't give it all away. The dog and the duck print
Yes.
that Delta or that Capital had.
Yes.
Good. That outbid on every freaking one of them. I want to take one home.
We've got a kick-ass knife, a Bowie knife that is literally that freaking big. I mean, it's got an antler on it. It's cool.
I'm looking forward to this. I mean, I'm really glad that Kate's actually not racing.
Yeah.
Savage out to
You
Magic.
guys can be there.
It's gonna be a good time. Plus, we're gonna have the girls there, and
Yeah.
there's about 4 or 5 of us guys, and it's gonna be a really good time.
No,
Plus, we
it's gonna be
could.
a ton of fun.
I'll probably be staying on Kate's couch.
That's so far away.
Yeah, that's why I'll probably stay there. So, I mean, I might even sleep in your backyard. Not really sure how it's gonna work out yet.
Just stay in the house. It's got
I'll take it there.
This
Hey,
fence
good
is
one.
I will carry
tall.
I will carry. There is a hole in the fence, by the way.
I was thinking this. He's gonna get down on all fours to crawl and be like, "This, get out of here."
Take that from the mark. Kate will wake up in the morning. I'm just all wrapped up in the top of the fence.
He'll just end up on the other side of the fence in the yard over there.
Which is good. You got it in the house, like Colton said. You got to fill it up. So 4 or 5. I'm guessing 5 different prints from the bank.
That's not the case. Unless they go really cheap, that's not going to be the case.
Oh, wow. Big difference between his cheap and my cheap. You know what I mean?
I feel like your guys are cheap. It's the same cheap.
Makes way more money than I do.
No, I'm calling bullshit.
No.
He bought a way nicer house. So
So what? That means he works with his money.
It's invested in stocks.
see, I don't know how much money I'll be able to spend. The way my checking, my savings works out, it takes like 3 to 5 business days to transfer over. So
Damn, dude. You have plenty of time.
tough movie. Okay. God bless it.
What movie is that off of?
I can't remember. It's Kevin Hart.
The other thing too, area, but if you're from another area throughout the state and you want to get involved in Delta Waterfowl, we've got 19 chapters all throughout the state. If you got questions about that, there's information on the Delta Waterfowl website. You'd be getting a hold of Mr. Nick Hampton, and he'll get you aligned with who you need.
Good dude.
So
Good dude.
very good dude.
And I've been looking forward to this. We talked about it back when we first started this podcast.
Yeah.
We're going to get you on here at some point.
Okay.
Unfortunately, we added Zach to the mix, so I'm sorry that he was here. Nothing to say.
You got nothing.
I know. I don't.
Damn, dude.
I just, I'm here. I feel like I'm exactly what you expected, though.
Nah, you've been a good addition, Zach. I can't lie.
Agreed.
You've done great for filling for Pookie since he's just gone on a hiatus. But
I'm sure the tax breaks for you guys is nice too.
it's too. As we stated at the beginning of the podcast, our giveaway is live. It's on Facebook and our Instagram pages. End of the page. Go check it out. Make sure you get in there. You wouldn't want to miss out on a chance to win a free layout blind. But while you're there, make sure you follow us and check us out. We're out there on every social media platform there is for our podcast. So we look forward to you guys reaching out.
And if there's something you want to hear, want to talk about, please let us know because we could definitely fill that in anytime.
Absolutely. But until next time, I don't have a punchline for this one.
Come on.
Until next time, we'll see you next one.